Can you see the PPT, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
No. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, students, in last class we were seeing the basics of JavaScript and some of the data types, how we use in the JavaScript. Those we were seeing in the last class. And before I move on to the next concept, okay. So in last class we have seen the how this JavaScript has originated, from who has developed this JavaScript, and what is the first name of the JavaScript, and what is the difference between the Java and JavaScript. Because when we hear Java, Java is a programming language which we know, and JavaScript, when we hear, when we hear that word JavaScript, we feel that both are same. But what are the difference between Java and JavaScript, we have seen in the last class, and the uses of JavaScript, and how to execute, when we execute a JavaScript program, where you can see the output on the browser, you can see the output, and the object orientation we have seen, and how we embed the JavaScript program in XHTML document. We have seen there are two ways to embed the XHTML document. There are two ways to embed the JavaScript into the XHTML document. One is direct, and the other one is indirect. Indirect, just directly we write the code. In indirect, somewhere the code will be there. That program we call in the XHTML document. Those two methods we have seen. And the variable, how we declare a variable. Variable is nothing but a identifier, and what are the rules to declare a variable, and how we write, what are the reserve words, and what is the use of a reserve words, and what is the meaning of a reserve word. The reserve word is nothing but the predefined. In the library, the words will be predefined. So the reserve words we have seen. And comment line, that primitive data type, and how to declare a variable, and numeric operators also we have seen in the last class. And next we have math and number object. So to execute any mathematical function programs, we use this math and number object. And here we have some of the example. We use the math function in the program is math dot cos x. You all know that we have a trigonometric functions. Yes, what are the trigonometric functions? So we have sine, cos, tan. So we have some trigonometric functions. So if we want to use, so we use like this, math dot cos, math dot tan, like that we use in the program. And for the to round off the value, and to find the maximum and minimum of the value, we use this math function. This math object provides floor, round, min, max, and trigonometric functions, etc. So using this math object, you can execute a different trigonometric function program, and floor, round, and minimum, maximum also you can calculate. Some of the properties are here for math function. That is max value, so largest presentable number, max minimum value. Nan is nothing but not a number. Positive infinity, negative infinity, and pi. Pi is nothing but a constant value. So for all those, we use this math function. String. You all know that a string variable is used to store the character value or a string value. The number of character in a string is stored in the length property. So in the length property, the number of characters are stored in a string value. So the declaration is var str is equal to some name, that is George. So this George name is stored in the variable str. The George name is stored in the variable str. And to find the length, to find the length. So where len is equal to str dot length. And here we have some of the string functions or string methods. Char at. So to find the character at a specific position, we use this char at function or char at method. And index of, the position in the string object of a parameter. To find the position of a string object in the parameter, we use string of substring. The substring object from the when we have two when we want to find a substring, a larger string will be there. In that, a substring when you want to find, so we use this substring, uppercase and lowercase. So when you sometimes you want to convert the string into uppercase, or sometimes you want to convert the string into lowercase. So in that cases, we use this string object. And here we have some objects. So in that we have a date object. So date object is used. There are some ways to use a date object. That is to local string. It returns a string of the date. It returns a string of a date. Get date. It returns the date of the month. Sorry, date of the month. Get month. It returns the month of the year. A month. See here the year value it is taking from 0 to 11. So 12 months we have. So month value it is taking 0 to 11. So the index value is starting from 0. So it is taking 0 to 1. And here the day value, get day, it returns the day of a week. 7 days we have. So 0 to 6 it will take. Get full year. Year it will return the complete year. Get time. Current time it will display. It returns the number of milliseconds since January 1, 1970. And it get hours 0 to 23 hours means in a day we have 24 hours. So 0 to 23 minutes, 0 to 59 minutes, milliseconds, 0 to 999. So this is a date object. So next we have a screen output. Yes, students, when you we write so many executable statements, so many statements, so calculation statement, logic also we write in the program. When you want to display some content on the output or on the web page. In last class, we have seen the Fibonacci series program. In this Fibonacci series, we have done the calculation. I have assigned Fib1 value, Fib2 value, Fib value, and so, next I was displaying a Fib1 value, Fib2 value. Then the main actual code. Actual code is nothing but a function of a fib. So there I have written the logic. Correct, no? That for loop, inside the for loop, some calculation, assignment, those things I have written. So was that logic was displaying on the output screen, students? Yes. Was that logic was displaying on the output screen? No, it was not displaying. So why it was not displaying? So there I have not used the output statement. I don't want to display my logic on the output screen. I just want to display what is the output. I just want to display the answer on the output screen. So to display the output, to display the answer on the output screen, we use this document.writeLine. We use this document.writeLine. So a JavaScript model, the XHTML document with the document object. So with the document object, we display this. We display the output on the screen. So the statement which you write is document.write. So when you write a document.write within this bracket, within this double quotes, whatever you are writing, that will be displayed on the output screen. So the document object has write, which dynamically creates the content. So this document dot write, this write dynamically, it creates the content. See here, students. See, this is a program which I have written for third program, your third lab program. This is the code we have written. See, what is this line? What is this line?
Taking input from the prompt.
Yes, yes, we are taking an input from a prompt. So when I use this line, when I use this statement, the prompt will display on the output screen on the web page. And next, I'm assigning the fib1 value, fib2 value, and fib value. And here I am displaying this is the output screen statement. So what are the using this document dot write, whatever I am writing, that will be displayed on the web page, or as a output it will display. So it will display fib1 and fib2 value. Next, coming to the next line, here I don't have that document dot write line. Next, I have a for loop. So in the for loop, I have written the logic. In the for loop, I have written the logic. So here, when you write a logic, so this logic will not be displayed on the output screen. Correct now? This logic will not be displayed on the output screen. Using document dot write line, whatever you are writing, that only that will be displayed on the output screen. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So whatever we are writing using this document dot write line, the parameters are means within the bracket, whatever you are writing, the parameter is sent to the browser. Correct? No, the parameter is sending to the browser. So it can be anything. So it can be anything that can appear in the XHTML document. Is the whatever you are writing in these two parameters. So it will be the parameters will be sent to the browser, and it will display. It will be displayed on the output screen. And we have 3 output screen, students. That is alert window, confirm, and prompt. Alert, confirm, and prompt. We have these 3 windows. These 3 windows, output windows we have. The window object has 3 methods for creating a dialog box. See here. Here, the document object, using this write, we are displaying the output, and in addition to that, we have another 3 dialog box. Through that, you can display the output. So the first one is alert. The first one is alert. So this is a alert method. So this is a alert method. So in the alert, so this is the alert statement. Whatever you are writing within the parenthesis or within the bracket, these are sent to the browser. These statements are sent to the browser, and it will be displayed with the alert window or alert dialog box. The parameter is a plain text. See, the parameter is a plain text. It is not a HTML tag. Correct? No? Within the alert window, I am not, within the alert statement, I am not writing any HTML tag. Am I writing a HTML tag, students? No, I am not writing a HTML tag. It opens a dialog box. Yes, this alert window opens a dialog box. Which displays the parameter string. Yes, parameter string. In the parameter, whatever you are writing, that it will display the sum is. The sum is here. You can see the here now, students, sum is output it is displaying. Correct? We'll see some more examples. Output. Yes, students, are you able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
So output it is displaying, and this alert dialog box, this alert window will be having one button. One button, that is OK button. That is OK button. Yes, students, here, this you remember, this alert window will be having only single button, that is OK button. Means whatever it is displaying, you should accept that and you should say OK. Whatever it is displaying, because whatever the statements you are you want to display, or you are giving in the alert method, so only that it is displaying. Instead of that sum is, if you display your name also, it will display your name, and if you just click on OK button, it will close. It will close. So next we have a confirm. Many times when you download some document, or when you want to save a file, click on so you'll get two options: click on OK button or click on cancel button. The same thing with when you want to download some file. So it will ask, do you want to continue downloading? If you click on OK button, it will continue. If you click on cancel button, it will stop the downloading. Correct, no, students? It will stop the downloading. So it will ask the confirmation from the user. It will ask the confirmation from the user. So we call this as a confirm window or confirm dialog box. Yes, students, getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Confirm window we call. So here we have a var question is equal to. So what is the question? In the confirm, here I am using a confirm method or confirm function. So here what statements I am writing? Do you want to continue this download? So do you want to continue this download? Yes, students, in confirm window you will be having two buttons. So opens. So when you are using this confirm method in the program, it opens a dialog box and display the parameter with two buttons. Display the parameter and two buttons. So the statement what you have written, this statement is nothing but a parameter. It will display the parameter with two buttons. The two buttons are OK and cancel. Yes, students, those two buttons returns a Boolean value. Boolean value means what? True and false, 0 and 1. Correct, no? Boolean value means true and false value. Boolean value is nothing but true and false. We all know that true means the value will be 1. False means the value will be 0. So when you click on OK button, so it will take a value true. It will take a Boolean value true. If you click on cancel button, it will take a Boolean value 0 or false. It will stop there. So it returns a Boolean value depending on the button which you press. And it will wait for the window. That's confirm window will not close automatically, students. It will wait for the response of a user. It will wait for the response of a user. Either you can click OK button or you can click on cancel button. You can click on cancel button or OK button. So when you click on OK button, it will take a true value. It will take a true value because here I told it returns a Boolean value. It will take a true value. It continues the downloading. If you click on cancel, then it takes a 0, that is false value. Then there it will stop the downloading. So next we have prompt. So this prompt we have seen in the previous program. So why we use this prompt is to take a input from the user. In last class also, when I was displaying the Fibonacci series program, enter the number, and to generate the square root number also we to take a n value from the user, we were taking this prompt. Correct, no student? We were taking this prompt. So prompt is a function or method. So whatever the statements you write within those brackets, within those parameters, that will be displayed on the prompt window or prompt dialog box. So once you call this prompt, what happens? We'll see. It opens a dialog box and display its string parameter. So it opens a dialog box, and students, all these three dialog box will be having that closing button. So it opens a dialog box and display its string parameter. String parameter means whatever the string we write within the bracket. Whatever the string we write within the bracket. So it opens a dialog box and display its string parameter along with the text box. Along with the text box. Yes, students, here you can see this text box now, where we give the input. Kanasaidia. Once again I'll run the program and I'll show so that you'll get a clear idea, students. So this prompt window, if you see the previous output screens, it was not, these two were not having the text box. Means from these two we were not taking the input in alert and in confirm. But here in the prompt we have a text box with two buttons. Text box with two buttons. So in the text box, it takes the input, and if you click on the OK button, so it sends the input to the browser. So it will display the output. If you click on cancel, it will return a false value. It will return a false value. So when you use this prompt, it opens a dialog box and display its string parameter along with text box and two buttons. What are those two buttons? OK and cancel. OK and cancel are two buttons. The second parameter is a default response. If the user presses OK without typing a response in the text box, wait for OK. So without typing any, sometimes we may do mistake, or we don't give any input on the text box. So without giving a text box, if you click on OK button, it will just close the prompt. It will just close the prompt window. So next we have a conditional statement. What are the conditional statements, students? What are the conditional statements? If else, nested if, switch statement. Yes, all these conditional statements also we can use in the JavaScript. We can use in the JavaScript, that is simple if, if else, else if ladder, nested if. What all in the other in basic C programming language, whatever the conditional statements we have learned or we have used, all those conditional statements we can use in the JavaScript. We can use in the JavaScript. You know the syntax of switch statement now, students? Or you want? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So switch statement. So in the switch statement, we have different cases. So in each case, we have a break statement. Means once in the choice, if you are taking first case, so once it execute a first case, then immediately we write a break statement. So there only the why we write break statement is to stop or to terminate the execution. Suppose you have a switch case. In switch case, you have 5 cases. 5 cases. In first case, I wrote break statement. In the fourth case, I wrote break statement. Yes, students, remember what statement I am telling. In the first case, I have written break statement, and in the fourth case, I have written break statement. And in the fifth case, I have written, the fifth case is a default case. So when I give a choice 2, then what output it will display? It will display the output of case 2, case 3, and case 4. Is it right? Yes? Anybody have doubt in this? Why it will display the output of case 2, case 3, case 4?
Break is not mentioned there.
Yes. No, anybody have doubt? Yes, students, anybody have doubt? Respond. If you are not silence means nobody has any doubt. If I start asking any questions, then nobody will respond. So what happens in each case, we have to write a break statement. If you are not writing a break statement, so when you see what I am telling, in case 1, I have written break statement, and in case 4, I have written break statement. When you give your choice as 2, but in case 2, you have not written break statement. In case 3, you have not written a break statement. So when you give your choice, it will execute the statement till it encounters a break statement. It will execute all the statements till it encounters a break. So in case 4, I have written a break statement. So till case 4, it will execute all the statement. If you give choice as 1, it will display output of only first case. Why? Because in the first case, I have written a break statement. Yes, students, getting? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So here just simple code I have written for simple if statement. If else statement. If A is greater than B, A is larger than B, else A is not greater than B. Next we have looping statement. In looping statement, why we write this looping statement is sometimes a same statement you want to repeat or you want to display again and again. Good morning. This good morning I want to display 10 times. This good morning I want to display 10 times. How I can write this good morning 10 times? Document dot write good morning. Document dot write good morning. Document dot write good morning 10 times. Yes, it will display. Correct, no students? It will display. Okay, 10 lines I am writing. If I want to display 1000 times, yes, 1000 times also I write good document dot write. But how much time I am wasting? I have another way to display the good morning message repeatedly. How many times you want, those many times. So that we can achieve using a looping statement. While we have 3 types of looping statements: while, for, and do while. So the syntax of while statement is control expression and the body of the loop. Control expression, while, expression within the bracket, and the body of the, here is the body of the loop. The body of the loop. So this while statement is also known as entry control loop. While statement is also known as entry control loop. Why?
Because it was checks the condition,
Yes,
then
yes.
executes the
So why?
statements
Because
after.
first it will check the condition. This condition it will check. While it will check the condition. If this condition is false, if that condition is false, only so that condition is false, it will not enter into the body of the loop, students. So it will just come out of the body of the loop. It will come out of the body of the loop. If this condition is true, then it will enter into the body of the loop. So this is the reason why we call this as a entry control loop. So in the entry only we are checking the condition. So it will go for the compound statement or the executable statement. Next we have a for loop. The for loop. The syntax of a for loop is initialization, condition, increment or decrement. Initialization, condition, increment or decrement. Yes, students, what I am writing, you are able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what I am writing here is for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. According to the for loop syntax, so initialization, control is nothing but a condition, increment or decrement statement. This is the way, or this is how we write a for loop. So according to the syntax, I have written this example. I have written the example. So for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. For I is equal to 0, j is equal to 0, j is equal to 0, I is less than n, j is less than m, I plus plus, j plus plus, I plus plus. Yes, students, according to the syntax, I have written this statement, that is for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. Yes, according to the syntax, I have written. And according to the syntax, I have written this I is equal to 0, j is equal to 0, I less than n, j is missing. The typing mistake, students. Here you assume j. J is less than m, I plus plus, j plus plus. Yes, both the statements are true. Both the statements are correct. Yes, students, both the statements are correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Yaradu, yes, Santa, please tell your name. Yes. Please tell your name, students. Akhila.
Makrut.
Akrut.
I is equal to 0, I less than n, is correct, ma'am. Not that one.
No, the second one is not correct.
Why it is not correct? This also has increment, initialization, condition, increment, decrement, increment statement. It has. Why it is not correct?
Ma'am, because
Ma'am,
after this
I and J are
column,
mentioned in the
there's less
same
than
line
m.
only.
It has no variable to compare with.
I and J are
Mentioned in the same line only, ma'am. It is not mentioned in the different loops.
okay. Any other answer?
Ma'am, the less than m part is not right.
Why?
Ma'am, because it has not any operator to compare with or
Why? I'll in the I will include. I will include. Still, I have not written the body. No, still. See, initialization I have written for I equal to 0, j is equal to 0, I is less than m, I is less than n, j is less than m, I plus plus, j plus plus. See, according to the syntax of for loop, it should have only 2 semicolons in the for loop, students. It should have 2 semicolons in the for loop. That is initialization colon control is nothing but condition colon increment. Yes, here initialization correct, condition correct, and increment statement correct. So here all the 3 conditions are there. Initialization is there, control statement is there, and increment is also there, and it has only 2 semicolons. According to syntax it is correct. But my question is, when in the same for loop, can you can I initialize more than one value? How I did the next statement here? Yes, can I initialize more than one value? I'm getting the answer from the chat window, chat box. Yes, you're right. That is the use of that operator. That is a Kishan, that is the advantage of that operator. Yes. Can I initialize more than one value? Can I add a more than one condition? Yes, I can. According to, yes, Akras, it is correct. Yes, students, you can. I'll write a statement. I'll write here. Yes, whatever I'm writing, you're able to see, no? For, according to the syntax, in the for loop, we should have only 2 semicolons. So if you want to initialize more than one value, or if you want to write more than one condition, you can write with the help of a comma operator. That is the advantage of comma operator. The comma operator you can use in for loop. Now I is equal to 0, comma, j is equal to 0, semicolon, I is less than n, comma, j is less than m, semicolon, I plus plus, comma, j plus plus. So this is how you can write a for loop. This is how you can write a for loop, student. In a for loop, you cannot write more than 2 semicolons. You can initialize more than one value. You can write the condition for more than one statement. You can increment, decrement more than one value, but you should not separate with a semicolon. You should separate with a comma. According to the syntax, your for loop should have only 2 semicolons. Anybody have doubt here? See what the same statement I have written here. This is wrong. This is correct. This is right. So next we have a do while statement. The do while statement is also known as exit control loop. The do while statement is also known as exit control loop. The how we write a do while statement is do the body of the loop, then the while condition. Then the, yes students, are you able to see it clearly what I am writing? Are you understanding? Do body of the loop and the while condition. While condition with the termination with a semicolon. Here what happens in do while, do the body of the loop. The body of the loop will be executed. Correct, no? The body of the loop will be executed. Then it will check the while condition, students. Then it will check the while condition. Means in do while loop, though the condition is false, minimum once the body of the loop will be executed. Correct, no?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
in do while, though the condition is false, minimum once the body of the loop will be executed, and after executing the body of the loop, it will check the condition. If it is true, then again it will go into the body of the loop. It will fall. If it is false, then it will come out of the loop. It will come out of the loop. Getting, students? In so that is the reason why this while do while loop we call as a exit control loop. So we call this as a exit control loop. In while loop is a entry control loop. In while loop, if the condition is false, it will not go into the body of the loop. It will come out of the loop. Whereas in do while, though the condition is false, minimum once the body of the loop will be executed. Correct? Yes, students?
Yes, ma'am.
So next we have arrays. So array here, array is nothing but collection of values. Array can be created, or the array object can be created in two ways. That is using a new or by assigning a array literal. Array can be assigned, or array object can be created in two ways. That is with new keyword, and with the other way is by assigning an array literal. See here, here 3 examples I have written. So 3 example I have written where my list new array 24 bread true. So this is one way of creating an array object. And here one more way, that is where my list 3 is equal to 24 bread true. So this is, here we are not using a new keyword, we are assigning these values to this my list 3. So the examples and the remaining things we'll see in the next class, students. In detail, this array we'll see in the next class. I'll stop here. So how many of you not submitted the output of second program? How many days time you need, students? Yes, how many days time you need? Yes, you tell me how many of you not submitted. Even after telling so many times, I have given so much time also, and still many have not submitted the third output also. Why? How much time you need to execute third program? Ready program I have given. Answer your attendance, students. Anaga,
Yes, ma'am.
Abhilash,
Yes, ma'am.
Akhil, Akrit,
Yes, ma'am.
Akshay, sorry, Anusha,
Yes, ma'am.
Arvind,
Present, ma'am.
Arifullah,
Yes, ma'am.
Nine,
Present, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
10, 11, 11, 11 is absent. Any mic issue? Bhargav? 12,
Present, ma'am.
13,
Present, ma'am.
14,
Present, ma'am.
15,
Yes, ma'am.
16,
Present, ma'am.
17,
She's present, ma'am. She had put in chat box.
18,
Present, ma'am.
19,
He's present, ma'am. In chat box. He put it in chat box.
20,
Present, ma'am.
21, 20,
Present, ma'am.
22,
Present, ma'am.
23,
Present, ma'am.
24, 25, 24,
Present, ma'am.
Divya.
She have put in chat box, ma'am.
Okay. 25,
Present, ma'am.
26,
Present, ma'am.
27,
Present, ma'am.
28,
Present, ma'am.
29,
Present, ma'am.
30,
Yes, ma'am.
31,
Yes, ma'am.
32,
Present, ma'am.
33,
Yes, ma'am.
34,
Present, ma'am.
35,
Present, ma'am.
36,
Present, ma'am.
37,
Yes, ma'am.
38,
Present, ma'am.
39,
Present, ma'am.
40,
Yes, ma'am.
41,
Chat box.
42,
Present, ma'am.
43,
Present, ma'am.
44,
Present, ma'am.
45,
Present, ma'am. Mic issue.
46,
Present, ma'am.
47,
Present, ma'am.
48,
Present, ma'am.
49,
Present, ma'am.
50,
Present, ma'am.
51,
Present, ma'am.
52,
Present, ma'am.
53, 53,
Present, ma'am.
54,
Present, ma'am.
55,
Present, ma'am.
56. Tirtha. 57.
Present, ma'am.
58.
Present, ma'am.
59.
Present, ma'am.
So Tirtha is absent. Bhargav, USN 11, is absent.
Ma'am, he has put in chat box, ma'am.
Okay. Then what about Tirtha?
Ma'am, avlik network issue maybe.
She was there. Okay.
No, ma'am, she's not there, I guess.
Tirtha? No, she is not there.
She's not there, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, students, I'll stop here. See you in the next class.